Okay, let's go through step by step some practical ways that you can start using the information from this book to begin improving your sleep, hopefully as soon as tonight. Obviously, if you are suffering from some form of sleep disorder, you should definitely seek the advice of a trained professional. I'm in no way a doctor. This is not in any way medical advice, just giving my own personal learnings and implementations from this book. So let's jump into it. So in my opinion, sleep optimization can be divided down into 5 main categories. My goal over the next 10 minutes or so is to help give you a framework within which you can work to optimize your sleep over the coming days, weeks, and years. So let's start with number 1, and that would be diet and substances. So when it comes to food and beverages, you should avoid large meals and fluids at least a few hours before sleep. And that's mainly due to 2 reasons, which are indigestion and metabolism. Personally, I like to think of these systems within my body, the digestive system and metabolism, like factories. So ideally, a few hours before bed, you want to make sure that these factories are beginning to wind down and are completely shut down by the time you wish to sleep. If you eat a large meal right before bed, it's like asking these factories to continue working on into the night at full capacity. This keeps the body active when it should be slowing down. And not only that, digesting food ideally should be done in an upright position to help with digestion. Laying down after food makes that digestive process more difficult, and that's what leads to discomfort and potential sleep disruptions. During sleep, you want to allow your body to be completely focused on relaxing and recovering, and not to be actively working on tasks such as digestion and metabolism. Next would be drinking. So drinking a lot of fluids before bed also disrupts sleep because of the need for frequent urination during the night. For myself personally, I've recorded much better nights of sleep since limiting fluids to 2 to 3 hours before sleeping. So that might be something that you would like to experiment with. Moving on to substances. There are 2 common stimulants which interfere with sleep, and those would be caffeine and nicotine. If you're a fellow coffee drinker like myself, it's definitely good to be aware of its effects on sleep. So I believe the half-life of coffee is around 4 hours, 4 to 6 hours, depending on your genetics. So if you want to improve sleep, you should be avoiding caffeine at least 8 hours before the time that you intend to sleep, and maybe even longer than that if you want to be extra cautious. For myself, I try to only consume caffeine before 11 a.m., giving myself a large enough window for the caffeine to be completely purged from my body before I intend to sleep. To go a little deeper on what actually causes that interference, if you recall earlier in the video on the topic of adenosine, caffeine will bind to the adenosine receptors within your brain. So whilst adenosine is trying to promote sleepiness and relaxation and get you ready for sleep, caffeine is blocking that signal. The other main substance that the book explores is nicotine. So I'm not personally a smoker, so this one doesn't affect me, but just like caffeine, nicotine is also a stimulant, and it has been shown to cause smokers to only get light sleep. They tend to remain in the lighter stages of sleep, and they get less deep and REM sleep. So if you are a smoker, you should understand that you are sacrificing the quality of your sleep. The third common substance is alcohol. So alcohol is a two-edged sword and full of myths when it comes to sleep. It is a sedative, so the name would suggest that it's effective at promoting sleep. However, even if it is able to help you fall asleep quicker, ultimately alcohol is disrupting your sleep cycle. It reduces the amount of deep and restorative sleep that you will get. And it also prevents you from entering the REM stage of sleep. In fact, it states in the book that alcohol is one of the most powerful suppressors of REM sleep that scientists are aware of. So if you want a surefire way to crush your REM sleep, drink alcohol before sleeping. The book also discusses the profound effect that alcohol has on newborn babies and mothers that are heavy drinkers. Because alcohol can readily pass the placental barrier between the mother and the fetus, alcohol significantly disrupts not only the REM sleep of the mother, but also of the newborn. And scientists found that the infants of heavy drinking mothers showed a 200% reduction in the vibrant electrical activity that you would normally see as a characteristic of healthy REM sleep. This reduction in that electrical activity within REM can increase the likelihood of neurological illnesses such as autism. From monitoring my own sleep and my own anecdotal evidence, I have noticed this REM reduction alcohol phenomenon to be very true. I'll try to put up here 2 screenshots side by side. On the left is a typical night's sleep, and on the right is after only 3 or 4 glasses of red wine. So you can really see the difference there in the patterns. So yeah, just to put that into perspective, this is not like a big night on alcohol, getting drunk or anything like that. It's just a few glasses of red wine, and you can really see there what it has done to my REM sleep. And I've noticed this on more than one occasion, having monitored my sleep now for, at least the past 2 years or so. So if you are drinking alcohol, it's good to understand that you are sacrificing the quality of not only your deep sleep, but especially that REM sleep. It really does crush the REM sleep.